Right, it's a damp afternoon. We've actually got some rain for the first time in well over a month. It's been overcast, but still 23.5 degrees in the conservatory. So let us have a quick look and see what's going on at some of the plants, some of the stuff I've been shifting about and whatnot. So I'm not claiming to be the tidiest gardener or plantsman. It's just a collection of plants, some to be hard enough to go outside, some will stay in the conservatory all summer long, and some stay in the conservatory all summer and winter. But either way, let's start at this end and work our way through. So right in the corner here we've got a Dipsys palm. This is Dipsys Jurassic Park. I spent the winter in the front room as a house plant. We have lost an old frond, not surprisingly. Well, a couple have sort of started to green out, but we've got two good fronds and a new one now opening. So that is called Dipsys Jurassic Park because it's quite slow to trunk. You'll get massive leaves, 8-10 foot tall, just coming out the ground before it even trunk. So that's sort of quite Jurassic looking, I guess. Anyway, so my plan this year is to get a pathos grown up the side of the conservatory to give it like a green wall, if you like. So this is a I don't know, sort of variegated flecky leaves, and we have got a bit of the lime in there as well, so hopefully give that a few months to kick in and that will give us a nice green wall this end. Right, so coming round we've got Liquawala grandis that was overwintered as a house plant in the front room, and we have a new frond slowly opening up. These are very slow going, and I did have some root disturbance when I separated a couple of plants from one pot. So but it's still alive and it's still growing, albeit quite slowly. What we got down here, well, this is what happens if you leave a Nepenthes. This is just like a hybrid Nepenthes, no specific species, but that's what they look like if you leave them all winter in the conservatory. So that's getting sort of regularly sort of down to 4 degrees and probably not much higher during the day. So first glimpses, it's died, but closer look, let's have a look. You can see some green buds if you look carefully along the base. There are some green buds there. That was a bit of an experiment, just to see what would happen, because I've always overwintered that indoors, but short on space this year, so no doubt that'll come back, but at the minute it looks pretty much dead. Obviously all the old pitches have shriveled up. I did have an insurance policy. I took a couple of cuttings last year. These are smaller plants, all doing well. These were kept indoors over winter, and we've got some new little pitches coming on these. Easy enough to take cuttings, no special treatment, literally just as they get a little bit leggy, chop them, stick them in some sterile inert mix. They obviously don't want any nutrients, so you could use cocoa coir or peat moss, something like that. Right, we've got a couple of Eureka catechu palms which didn't do very well over winter, to be fair. but they are still alive, and they're both pushing new fronds. So hopefully they'll do a bit better over the summer period in here. Got Ficus tenicki, I think they're called. It's looking okay, albeit lost a lot of leaves down the bottom end, so top end looking good, plenty new growth coming. We've got a large money plant, so this was given to us by the mother-in-law probably 20 years ago as a little tiny cutting, you know, literally teeny weeny leaf cutting, and that's got quite the trunk on it now. It's doing quite well. It's quite thick trunk, and needless to say, plenty of propagations to give to family and friends on that. This is the allocation I bought the other day. Quite nice, looking good, keeping that nice and damp. And on a side note, I did do my shopping in Morrison's last night. They've got a load of allocations in there. I think they had Petora, some green type might have been Odora, and they had some Sabrinas as well, all for a tenner each. But I've already got at least one of them, each of them species, so I didn't buy any. Right, let's carry on. So I have got a big allocation in here. This is the Petora, which hopefully is going to come up soon. It's got a little bud on that. We've got a Sumo there, which overwintered, I think, in a summer house, so it sort of started to look a bit rough. These are the old leaves, so I cut most of them off, but I've still got a bit of green on it. But that's one of the first new leaves, so that's looking quite good. Got the coconut palm. I don't think I need to explain the burn patch. That's where it's touching the grow light indoors. But apart from that, it's not looking too bad. Pushing out new frond, doing okay. Phoenix Alfredii. That was in the indoor greenhouse over winter. Done a lot of growing, but one of the fronds did get a bit of mechanical damage on it. I don't know exactly what happened there, but the new frond looks fine. I'll do a separate videos on these, just some coleus and whatnot seeds. I'll do a video on that, the lazy way to do seeds, hassle free. I've got a shelf here, nothing pretty, it's just all either seeds or recovering plants. Don't need to go too much into that. Got some dracaenas, alocasia, philodendron at the back there, small syngonium, blah blah blah. We've got again some seeds in here in bags to keep them moist, more seeds, and we've got, oops, got that nice caladium there, which seems to be oh, it's pushing out a new leaf, doing quite well. Quite like the leaves on that with the green veins and the red leaf. I'll have to pick that tray up later. Got another philodendron here. I'm not quite sure what type it is. It's actually where did I get this from? Aldi or Lidl, I think, for £4. And actually had 2 plants in there, so I divided them out. One you just see down on the bottom shelf, still in recovery, but this one's doing quite well, pushing out new growth. And at the back there is the giant Edo or colocasia quorm I bought from the Asian supermarket, and instead of getting one big growth, we've got hundreds of little growths, but it's growing, that's the main thing, so I'm sure I can do something with that later on, maybe divide them off. We've got, so if you watch any of my videos, I had a triple a Quanta Phoenix Cunninghamiana in the summer house, which I let dry out too much and died over winter. Well, this is from the same seed batch anyway, so this is a single on its own here, and that's obviously looking okay. It's got some big leaves on it. I'm pushing out a new frond here, so that's the king palm. And I've got a couple of smaller ones here which are royal palms. Not doing quite so well. I grew these at the same time from seed as I did these ones, so the king palm and royal palm. This was a triple, I did lose one, but two are still doing well and pushing out new growth. So I'm not going to go through every single plant. I'll do a separate update on this Bismarcky seedling. These crotons, the more unusual types with the nice sort of camouflagey leaves. Flamingo plants they call them, I guess. Orbifolia. We've got a Euphorbia in the back there. That's constantly in flower over the warmer periods of the year. This stays in the conservatory all winter. I mean, they do grow leaves. These ones, they look like cactus, but they grow leaves and flower basically non-stop. But over winter, they do drop the leaves and stop flowering. But if I'm sure if you kept it indoors, that'd probably flower year round. One of these mini monsteras here, which I did chop because that was getting ridiculously big. Incidentally, all the propagations are down here for that, so I've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they'll all take, I've done it before, once they get too big just chop them, little growing node, leaf on each one, and yeah, keep them damp and they'll take and start growing again. So you've got several more plants. Right, and then we've got the cycad at the back there, which I got from Morrison's the other week for 12 quid. I don't know if anyone else managed to get any. Bargain price. This is a money plant propagated from the big one you see earlier in the video. We've got Livingstone roundifolia. Looking okay, starting to open a new frond through sort of crispy ends on that, but it is pushing out a new frond, even though that's looking a bit crispy around the edges. It's still growing, so we'll see what happens with that. That's quite a nice frond on that one, sort of really cast a palmate. One of the cordyline fruticosas. I think that's kiwi, that one with the pink outline and the really sort of tropical, nice looking plant. Philodendron silver sword, doing quite well. It actually flowered over the winter for me, and it did have two big growing points, but I actually managed to snap one off, so I've got some propagations of that going as well. I think they're in the greenhouse, but there are several sort of smaller plants growing out the side of this as well. So you can see where they get the name silver sword, because it's really sort of a silvery green. So yeah, and just loads of sort of succulents and propagations as well, all happening. So this is some sort of organised chaos in here, but that's how the conservatory looks at the moment. Yes, that is a giant teddy bear sitting outside getting wet. Don't know what to do with that. Right, anyway, before we go, so if you do have a money plant, and then obviously knock off any bits, These are just a selection of bits here. You can grow them from a single leaf, but if you knock off a small branch like this, what we do is we keep it in a tub and give them a spray every couple of days, and you'll start getting the, maybe you can see the roots on that. And yeah, then you can pot them up and they'll start growing straight away for you. And as a last sort of update, we've got a, was it last week or the week before I got these? This is the allocation diamond head I got in the post. There's little plug plants. Both have pushed out brand new leaves, so they do come out green and then turn the darker colour afterwards. But they look quite nice like that with the dark veining in. So I've got these, put them up in fairly small pots, but they're actually sitting in water all the time, so they never dry out. And they do like having wet feet. And yeah, I'm sure they'll start kicking in nicely soon. We've been hitting decent temperatures in here when the, you know, obviously, like I said, it's an overcast day today and it's still pushing sort of 24 degrees, but that gets sort of 30 degrees plus when the sun's out. So it's yeah, it's ideal growing conditions really. Right, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one, and that'll probably be an update on the Bismarckia palm seedling that I grew last year, so that'll be the 1 year update. Anyway, catch you on the next one.